Today, we're going to dive into a totally enchanting story that gives a magical answer to a question you've probably asked a million times in the kitchen.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You're just trying to chop some veggies for dinner, and next thing you know, the waterworks start. But what if the reason wasn't just some boring chemical reaction? What if it was something way more magical?
Well, guess what? The amazing author Sudha Murty has this beautiful fairy tale-like answer for us in her book, How the Onion Got Its Layers. So let's dive right in.
Okay, so our story kicks off in this thriving, happy kingdom. Or at least it seems happy. But there's this secret sadness kind of hiding just below the surface. It's time that, you could say, peel back the layers and uncover the onion's big secret.
So, picture this. We're in the kingdom of Ullus. Everything's great. People are happy. Food is everywhere. But the king and queen, they were completely heartbroken. I mean, they had everything you could possibly want, except the one thing they wanted most, a child.
So completely desperate, they travel to this magical spot deep in the forest and just pray with everything they've got. And guess what? It worked. Their prayers were answered. A goddess appears right in front of them in this big flash of green light, and she's ready to grant their wish. So the goddess says, yes, she'll give them a daughter. But, and there's always a but in these stories, right? This amazing gift came with a catch, a very specific warning about one single flaw. And the goddess's warning was super clear. She said, look, she'll be a loving child, but she's going to have this one flaw. She will love new clothes way too much. And trust me, it's going to make your life difficult. But, they were so desperate for a child, they just accepted on the spot, no hesitation.
And sure enough, just like the goddess promised, this beautiful baby girl is born. They name her Bina, and her laugh just fills the whole kingdom with so much joy. But as Princess Bina got a little older, that prophecy from the goddess, it started coming true. And not in a small way. It was about to completely take over the entire kingdom. Yeah, this wasn't just your average, I love fashion kind of thing. No, this was a full-blown obsession. Princess Bina literally demanded a brand new outfit every single day. She absolutely refused to wear the same thing twice. Can you imagine her closet? It was just this explosion of silks and cottons and wools in every color you could possibly think of. Tailors from all over the world were working around the clock, day and night, just for her.
So yeah, obviously this couldn't last forever. The king and queen pretty quickly realized they were burning through all the kingdom's time and money just trying to keep up. Something had to give.
So, once again, they're desperate. This time, they send Bina herself back to the forest to ask the goddess for help. And this meeting, this is where everything is about to change.
The goddess comes up with what sounds like a perfect fix. She tells Bina, okay, I will magically give you a gorgeous new outfit every single day. But, and here's that catch again, there was one super important rule. Bina could never, ever give away or trade these magical clothes with anyone. And at first, Bina was over the moon. But then, after a little while, something weird started to happen. The people in the kingdom just got used to it. They'd see her incredible outfits, and the compliments just stopped. They'd just shrug and say, oh, that's just the goddess's gift. And Bina, who lived for that admiration, she started to get really sad. And that sadness, it quickly turned into jealousy. One day, she sees this girl by the river who's just wearing a simple, plain sari. But everyone is gathered around her, telling her how beautiful she looks. And meanwhile, nobody is paying any attention to Princess Gina, standing there in her amazing, magical dress.
And in that moment, she completely forgot the goddess's big warning. Bina just walks right up to the girl, totally overcome with jealousy, and makes the one offer she was forbidden to make. She asked to trade her incredible dress for that simple sari that everyone was talking about.
The second that trade was made, bam! A huge flash of light fills the air. The promise was broken, and the consequences were immediate.
Bina finds herself zapped right back to the forest, standing in front of a very, very disappointed goddess. And her punishment was going to be serious. She was going to be taken from the human world for good and transformed into something else.
But in that last moment, Bina's true, kind nature really came out.
She thought about her parents and her whole kingdom, and she made this one last, totally selfless request. She asked to be turned into something that would help people remember her, but also something that they could actually use.
And this, according to the story, is how the onion was born. The goddess granted her wish. All of Princess Bina's beautiful, colorful clothes, they became the onion's endless layers. And the tears that we cry when we cut an onion, well, those are for the lost princess.
Isn't that just such a beautiful and creative story for something we see every day? This magical tale comes from the incredible imagination of Sudha Murty, who's this amazing, award-winning author famous for her enchanting stories.
And in the notes for the book, she actually explains that she was always fascinated by onions. You know, their layers and why they made her mom cry. And she says her imagination just kept going and going until one day she felt like she'd figured out the secret of the magical onion and decided to share it. I just love that.
So maybe the next time you're in the kitchen about to chop an onion, you might see it a little differently. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? What other ordinary things around you might be hiding their own secret, magical stories?